All right, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So welcome to another edition of Y'all, sorry, there's a window back there and somebody just shot off a firework. People, it's August. Put the fireworks away before you burn somebody's house down. It's too hot for that. It was 96 degrees today. Anyway, welcome to another edition of In the News. Let's just jump right into it. Now, I have to start off with Kanye West. And by the way, I'm not even about to cook Kanye for 10 minutes like I normally do because Kanye's already gotten 2 videos out of me. I don't even want to have that energy today with him. So I just want to address what everybody's talking about. If you don't know, Kanye West went on Jimmy Kimmel last night. And pretty much, they were having a conversation about some of Kanye West's, recent statements. Kanye's been on the whole love train, and Donald Trump is his brother, and slavery was a choice, and he likes the way Candace Owens thinks, and, people need to start changing their mindsets in order to have what it is that they want and all that stuff. And so Jimmy Kimmel had pretty much said, I remember a few years ago you had said that George Bush, didn't care about black people. And this is after the Hurricane Katrina aftermath, where the Bush administration and all them, they just let all them poor people sit in the Superdome, sit in New Orleans, sitting in all kind of water for 4 or 5 days before they ever brought any food or any kind of help. And so he's saying, during that time period, you were able to, put out that, George Bush didn't care about black people. But even today in 2018, with all the things that Donald Trump has done, whether it's separating the kids from the parents and this, that, and the third, and the wall, and blah, 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 how is it that you're not able to make that same assessment about Donald Trump? And so Kanye kind of pauses for a second, and before he could answer, they run out of time. They go to commercial break. Now, a lot of people were saying that, they should have actually let Kanye have an opportunity to say his answer, and he would have said something, because the narrative or the title or the article that was pushed out was that Kanye West got stumped on the question. And to be honest, I would have liked to see what Kanye was going to say, too. I really wanted to hear that answer. I was ready. I was like, okay, what you about to say, Kanye? Because I was really anxious. And so the thing is, Kanye, he's been pushing out this whole narrative of love. Like, that's what he was saying on Kimmel. Like, people just need more love. We need to love each other and hug each other and just be there for each other. And I'm like, okay, cool. All that's beautiful. I love love. Love is great. I love love. You should love love too as well. But the problem is this. And it's not just Kanye, because a lot of people do this crap. When you're attacking something that is structural, something backed by law, something backed by policy. And I'm talking about the element of racism and classism within this country and how it affects different people on a macro scale. You can't fight that with love. Love is something that's ideal. The idea of telling people to love more, that's something in an ideal world that works. But we're not dealing with ideal people. We're not dealing with people who have a moral compass. You're dealing with people who are about the dollar, who will do any and everything for a check. That's all the people who are currently running the country. That's the administration. Like, look at the people who are currently in charge. You got Betsy, whatever her name is, making all kind of nonsense laws that have nothing to do with anything that will advance public education in this country. It's just her just doing whatever she feels like doing. Love is not going to fix that. You got Donald Trump, and mind you, speaking as a black man, you watch the same president who went and met with all them HBCU presidents and this, that, and the third, and yeah, they're doing great work. And what happened? Boom, come the budget cuts. That's love. You got the whole situation with HUD and the SNAP and literally any and everything you can think of that affects people on a macro scale to a negative standpoint. Trump has some kind of fingers behind. That's the love that you want to stand behind. Even with the climate, this man has no problem. I saw that they had to reverse that decision, but the whole thing about the pesticides and the food and stuff, and them trying to change certain things and stuff about the, Mother Nature and climate change and all that, he don't care about that because he's in the hands with all the oil companies and everything like that. Love doesn't fix that. And so when you're constantly talking about love, 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 you're putting the burden on the people who are affected by the nonsense that's being put out there. You're putting the burden on the people who are the recipients of the nonsense on a macro scale, not the people creating the problems. So rather than attacking the origin of the problem, you attack the result. And that doesn't get anything done. So with Kanye, I just need him to understand that. And plus the thing that got me, Kanye wasn't even confident with what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to spew out some nonsense, at least look like you know what you're talking about. Like, the one thing I will say, whenever I make these kind of videos, or I really make videos that are more so focused on race or politics or Pan-Africanism or anything like that, I get a lot of crazy comments. And I already know what kind of comments to expect. Like, I know for sure if I talk about any kind of police brutality thing, one of the first comments I'm going to get is a million thoughts about what about black on black crime and what about blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get the black on black crime argument. And if somebody's really, really racist and they really can't stand the fact that I'm on here spitting some facts, they'll bring up the whole random Charles Darwin theory about black people having a lower IQ than everybody. And see, the thing is, I can back up everything I say. So if you want to sit here and bring up that Charles Darwin nonsense and the IQ thing, I can say go check out my standardized testing video. It's like a whole 28 minutes of me giving you some actual factual evidence about how that's some nonsense. If you want to talk about the whole black on black crime thing, I got a video to address that too. Like no matter what you try to throw at me, I can bring the facts and sit you back. Yeah, I can send you home on your way, give you some good reading material. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's about. Like if you're gonna spew some nonsense, at least own what you say. Kind of reminds me of this episode of Cheaters I saw one time, and there's this guy, he's cheating on his wife. Now, mind you, his wife had cancer or something like that. So he's cheating on the wife with the wife's friend. And so, the guy comes out with the camera and he catches them. And so the woman gets caught. Like the guy's all embarrassed like this. The woman was like, I don't know what the problem is. She was supposed to die. She was supposed to die. I'm like, oh. What a horrible person. But listen, old girl was confident in her nonsense. She felt that she was right and she was convicted in it. Nobody was changing her mind. So if you're going to be a tool for white supremacy and speak some nonsense, you need to at least be confident with it. Otherwise, you ain't doing a good job. You make it easy for people like me to just sit there and dissect everything you say and send you packing. At least Candace Owens, as much as I can't stand her, she is confident in all of the nonsense that she spews. Now, I'll say I might agree with maybe 10% of what she says. The other 90% is hot air and hot garbage. But she presents herself from a standpoint of confidence, and she's able to build a following, which gets on my nerves because then they come and bring them same Candace Owens talking points in my videos too, and I gotta cook all them people as well. But anyway, as far as Kanye, you know what I mean? You continue to do clownery, now you gotta answer to it. And the thing that's funny about that wasn't even like a hard question. He should have been prepared for a question like that. He should have known that would be one of the first things somebody would ask him. They didn't even ask him anything too challenging, and he still didn't have a response like off the bat with that. That's how I know something is off with him upstairs. I know y'all want to keep calling him a genius, and I'm like, listen, y'all can do this genius crap all day, but y'all got to stop giving passes to people just because you give them a title. Genius. I can't. So as far as him and the love thing, that's beautiful, but I have an issue with people always trying to keep the same people who are oppressing them comfortable just so they can be tolerated. I don't think so. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't need to spread love so you can love me at all. Like, just stop screwing me over. Leave me alone. Mind your business and I'm my mind. It is what it is. Anyway, and like I said, you're talking all this love stuff like there's not a whole unite the right, aka racist, KKK, skinhead, ram, white, whatever you want to call it, rally right here in the heart of DC on Sunday. A whole white supremacy rally, literally a mile from where I live, right in front of the White House, right in front of where the president lives. And you want to sit here and talk about love when you got all this nonsense going on. And by the way, for people who live in DC, because I've heard a lot of conversations about this rally that's coming in, and you remember this is celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the Charlottesville situation where the girl got hit by the car and there were all kind of crazy people. I'm just gonna say, for people who are in DC, as much as I know a lot of you want to go and counter protest, I think it makes common sense to just stay out of their way. Let them crazy people have their little crazy riot and go home, because what's happening is these people want violence to happen. These people want you to go out there and try to fight them. Like, I don't think people understand how deep this mess has gotten. These people have, because this is multiple groups coming together. They're trying to pass this off as some kind of right-wing conservative political rally. It's really a white supremacist rally. I've already been looking and just doing my own little research. There are tons of groups meeting at this crap. There's tons of groups that meet on the dark web that have all kind of agendas. They're hoping people show up on Sunday ready to fight. And I mean, these people have been going out there and they got training camps and they doing push-ups and sit-ups and running and combat training. And in DC you can't bring weapons. You can't bring guns in this city like that. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be showing up with clubs and bats, and I'm sure they're still going to have hidden knives and everything like that. They want to fight because these are people who really think that there's going to be a race war and it's going to be black on white. We just going to be out there fighting this, that, and the third. And like, that's really what's out there. And I'm kind of like, look, black folks, we not thinking about y'all like that. We like, hell, I got stuff to do on Monday. Ain't nobody got time to be outside fighting because y'all crazy, because y'all mad at the world. That's not my problem. I'm not going out there fighting for nothing. Hell, I got a Gladys Knight and OJ's concert to go to Wednesday. I ain't got time for that nonsense. And so I can't wait either. Like, Gladys Knight's like my favorite alto. And so I said I have to go see all these legends while they're still alive. So I made an effort to go see Gladys and the OJs this Wednesday. Don't judge. I just like good music. But anyway, like, these people are crazy. And so what's going to happen, and what I'm afraid of, you have a lot of people who are going to go and counter protest. And the thing about it is the demographic of the people who are counter protesting. Yeah, you're going to have them people who are about it, ready to fight, ready to drop a dime, ready to drop kick somebody and kick them in the back of the face and punch them in the back of the knee. But you're going to have a lot of other people who are just like Kanye, who are going to be out there talking about love, 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 love. And see, unfortunately, love, 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 love is not going to protect you from some crazy white person with a crowbar. So use your common sense. If you're going to go out there, really make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to get your ass whooped. Because these are some crazy people. Some of these people have been training. They want to freaking fight for real. It's not about peace. It's not about protecting their political viewpoints. It's not about protecting their First Amendment. It's not even about protecting their amendments or their rights for the Second Amendment. It's all about them just doing some racist stuff, and they have anger that they're sitting on. They want to fight. They want to bring misery to somebody. That's why they're doing the whole rally after 5 p.m. once the sun starts getting ready to go down in 3 hours. They want to do that crap. Like, they know what they're doing. And the problem is you have so many people who have these pure hearts and love, and they're going to go out there. And I'm like, listen, it's not a fight that you want. If you're going to go out there, use some common sense. Because, one, I feel like half the people that are going to go out there and counter protest, they're not in the same playing boat as these crazy lunatics who've been out here training and doing push-ups. They spend all week making chants and practicing their songs. They're going to be out there, hey, ho, ho, racism has got to go. And them other folks going to be out there ready to swing the bats. So y'all just be careful is all I'm saying. Don't go out there and get hurt behind these crazy people. Like, really use some common sense and really be careful. My thing is, if you really want to go out there and fight, or you want to go out there and counter protest, just get your cameras, take pictures, record everything, and put all that mess on the internet. Because when Twitter gets a hold of people, Twitter will find where you work, find out where you live, find out what church you go to, find out what school program you're in. They will find all that. Your ass will be unemployed in like 2 days. So if that's how you want to counter something, do it that way. Get in their pockets. No matter how many songs y'all sing about unity and kumbaya and bring out rainbows and throw sprinkles and stuff, they're not worried about that. They want to fight. And the minute one of y'all get antsy, it's going to be 50 people on one person. It's just the way it is. So I suggest y'all be careful if y'all can go out there and try to counter protest. Me, I'm going to be minding my business, doing my own thing. Because my thing is they want that. They're hoping somebody goes out there and does that. That's why, even with the Charlottesville thing, their justification for that crazy lunatic going and running that car over them 20 people and killing that girl was, Antifa attacked us. I was like, who the fuck is Antifa? I ain't never heard of that. And apparently Antifa was like some kind of left-wing resistance against racist people kind of group. And so they use that as a justification for why all the violence happened. But I'm like, these are people showing up with shields and helmets and stuff. Like, these people trying to go to war. They look stupid. So let them look stupid by themselves. If everybody continues to do what they do, let them have their business. Like, these people are not in any kind of power at the moment. I mean, the president that's probably going to be watching from his window egging them on might be. But listen, these are a bunch of lunatic people that are just miserable. They're mad at the world. They're mad at everything. Somehow it's black people's fault that their life ain't together. It's somehow black people who who don't have much as a collective. Somehow it's our fault that their life sucks. Somehow it's everybody's fault that their life sucks. I'm like, you know what? To be honest, I ain't trying to be the one to shake the table. But at this point, if you look at the history of this country, y'all done had a whole lot of help to get you where you were supposed to be. If you ain't got there by now, I don't know what to tell you. Goodness. Anyway, so that's that. Which brings me to whatchamacallit, my next point. Sorry, I'm trying to read something. Okay, just make sure I didn't have the wrong thing on there. As you know, I wanted to do this last week, but I totally forgot. But the Dak Prescott guy, Cowboys player, he made that whole statement about the whole taking the knee and everything, because football season is starting again, and so he made this whole hoopla about how. Let me just find a quote. Let me see if I got it in my phone real quick. I think I took a snapshot of it. Where is it at? Here we go. His quote, because I don't want to misquote him before I drag him. He said, "I'd never protest during the anthem, and I don't think that's the time or the venue to do so. The game of football has always brought me such peace. And when you bring such controversy to a stadium, to the field, to the game, it takes it away." My question to him is, well, when is the appropriate time to protest? Because it seems like black people, we just can't do nothing. Now, white people can have these racist protests anytime they want to, right in front of the White House. But for some reason, we got to sit here and walk on eggshells when we're just trying to bring attention to, what's going on. And to be honest, if you really look at the whole NFL taking a knee thing, I don't think it's anything too over the top. And really, had everybody not asked Colin Kaepernick what he was doing, it would have just been him still sitting on the bench. Like, I don't really see that as being inconvenienced. If you're inconvenienced because you turned on the TV and somebody was sitting on the bench during the national anthem or taking a knee, change the channel for 30 seconds and turn it back on when the game comes on. Like, is it that serious? I don't get it. Why is it that we're so pressed to make people who are complicit in the struggles of other groups of people comfortable? Why is it that you're so pressed to make sure that the people who endorse this racism, who endorse the bigotry, who endorse the Islamophobia, the xenophobia, all the phobias, who endorse that, who passively will sit and let that crap slide, why are you so pressed about keeping them comfortable? Because they don't care about your ass. You know what I mean? But then I had to remember, well, you are on the Cowboys. That's Jerry Jones' team. And I forgot, Jerry Jones already told y'all asses, y'all going to be out there on that, was it toe to the line? National anthem, you're going to be out there. And I'm kind of like, I need the players to recognize There's more power in number. If these players recognize how much power they actually have, they could get people like Jerry Jones and the president who's still tweeting away. And I'm like, bruh, you're already 2 tweets away from indictment. Just you worry about that case rather than worry about the NFL players. If they could just recognize how much power they have, it can change the narrative of a lot of things. If every black quarterback in the NFL right now said, we're not playing until y'all start, respecting us, this, that, and the third, that shakes the table. And that's just the quarterbacks. Imagine when you start bringing in the wide receivers and the fullbacks and the centers and the safeties and the corners and all the other positions and the linebackers. Like, listen, that's like 70% of the NFL. There's no NFL without them. And I know a lot of people keep trying to say, well, the fans are leaving, this, that, and the third. No, don't fall for that crap. Because here's the thing. And I'm talking about the fans who are offended about the national anthem thing as far as if the players are going to take a knee, then I'm not watching. BS. Because I'll say it like this. If Colin Kaepernick, even if he were to join the Patriots, who I personally think has the most racist fan base next to the Boston Celtics. If you remember the 70s and 80s, them Boston Celtics fans, that was another breed of racism right there. But my God. Anyway, back to my point. If Kaepernick was on the Patriots, as much as those Patriots fans would boo him every game and be pissed off because he said all this stuff, if he started winning all them games, they wouldn't have anything to say. Because a lot of NFL fans, really, they're there for their team. It's really just about the team. They could care less about the players. They just want their team to win. Because the nostalgia of them cheering for a team that they've cheered for since they were 5 or 6, sitting on the couch with their dad back in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s and this, that, and the third, they just want their team to win. And so that's why I'm looking at Prescott like, bruh, first of all, you're on the Cowboys. You go to another team, first of all. Like, no disrespect to the Cowboys, but y'all ain't won a Super Bowl since I was in second grade. That was like 96, okay? We were still rocking with Bone Thugs and Harmony at the time, okay? See you at the crossroads. I never knew the lyrics to that song. The only part I remember was I Miss My Uncle Charles, y'all. You remember? My dog and I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. Like, I'm so terrible with lyrics. Like, true story, I think I said this some years ago, but I really used to think that Aaliyah was saying on Are You That Somebody? I swear to God, she was saying, boy, I gotta watch my back because I ride the city bus. That's that line where she's saying, boy, I gotta watch my body. I'm not just anybody. I really thought she was saying, boy, I gotta watch my back because I ride the city bus. Boy, I gotta watch my back because I ride the city bus. And it made sense at the time because I was like, she's from Detroit and the city buses be dangerous. And I know that from living in D.C. D.C. has the most dangerous bus line in the country. Real talk. I remember when I first moved here, I was on a bus. I forgot which line it was on. I think I was on whatever bus goes up and down Georgia Avenue. Man, some random fight breaks out on the bus. It's like a fight with like 8 people. And so I'm in the very back of the bus. And so the bus driver just pulls over. And he puts the little safety emergency flashes on. And then he just gets off the bus. Goes to call 911. I'm like, wait a minute, huh? And so the rest of us are just sitting on the bus. And I can't get off because the fight is just moving up and down the bus. You can't get to the door. So I'm like, oh, okay. And everybody else on the bus is just sitting there like it's a regular Tuesday. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here until it's done. Okay. All right. Look, I was just trying to get to class. I was leaving my aunt's house. I was just trying to get back to class. I was trying to go from Silver Spring back to Howard. But anyway, so that's that. I'm really bad with lyrics. But anyway, so I just need people to not be afraid. These NFL players, I need y'all to just get a backbone. And then the part that got me when he was talking about it's just a peaceful sport. Bruh, it's football. Football is great to watch. Now, mind you, I haven't really watched in the last 2 years because of everything that's going on. Plus, the Seahawks suck at the moment, so it's not even worth me watching, running up my blood pressure. But it's football. Y'all running head first, cracking into each other. Ain't nothing peaceful about that. It's CTE and concussions and everything else. I'm trying to figure out what a piece is. He was saying this mess like it was some synchronized swimming. Like when the people underwater, and they kick the leg up and crap. Or, if you want to talk about some peaceful sport, you could have said golf. You could have said, well, what's the thing when the girls run with the stick and a little ribbon and they run and, maybe they got like a Celine Dion song on and they just running and spinning and crap. That's some peaceful mess to watch, okay? They put on the ballad and jump and spin and they land so lightly, like, the agility. That's some peaceful crap to watch. So I don't know if he's been knocked in the head too many times, but get a backbone. Get a backbone. Your big, giant football self that damn scary. Scared of everything. I don't get how my little short, small, tiny frame self got all this heart, and these big grown NFL players who make all this money, who have power in numbers, are so afraid to stand up for anything. Like, man, it's just, I know the money's good. I know it's your way of living and you're trying to secure everything for your upcoming generation, but then that just means you need to be strategic about standing up for yourself. There should never be a problem where you have to be afraid to stand up for yourself, especially if you're in the right. You know what I mean? And you sitting here trying to act like you're going to get a certificate of appreciation because you stand for the anthem. Well, go on and stand for it then. And you might as well go on out to that rally on Sunday and raise the whatever little racist flag you got and talk about how much you hate black people since you want to be patriotic. Because them same people are nationalists too. They love this country. So go on and stand with them. Have a good time. Y'all can watch the people who are going to be counter-protesting, singing, hey, hey, ho, ho, racism has got to go. Y'all can go watch them. Goodness. Moving on. Omarosa. Goodness. You know what's funny? Everything that I said in my Omarosa video happened. Like, literally everything. I told y'all, like, and before I get there, do not come on this video talking about, oh, you're anti-black women, you're bashing black women. Y'all already know that's not even the kind of person that I am, and I go hard for my people. And my thing is, when you do anything that works against my people as a collective, I have to call you out. And I inspire and encourage you to do better because you know better. And Omarosa is somebody who knows better. But to get to the story, Omarosa, there's claims that, you know, she did a bunch of secret tapings of the president and this, that, and the third. I was like, okay, cool. And, you know, now she's releasing a book. And in the book, she talks about how she discovered that the president was racist and that he had been using the N-word since he was on The Apprentice and this, that, and the third. And she's just bringing light to everything that's going on. And so I have two things I'd want to say about this. First, I've seen a lot of people say, goodness, she's so smart. She infiltrated the system and she knew exactly what she was doing. And now, you know, she's going to be the one to take him down. Cool, I guess. The only issue I have is when you were in that position of power, when you were in the White House, when you had all the access to, you know, things and people that most common people like me don't, you didn't do anything to progress your community. You did nothing. Instead, I saw you on all the press markets, you know, what was it, talking trash to the old girl on The View and all the other stuff and making all these press rounds, but you didn't do anything to progress your community. Because you remember when she got fired or whatever, when they reminded her ass that she was black and she went there and that pass didn't work, you know, she was all on the press and, you know, I just want to help my people. No, don't speak for me. You got it. You was there when they made the cuts to the HBCU fund, and I didn't hear you say nothing then. And you went to Howard. What you doing? But you know what I mean? I'm just like I can't. And so the thing with her is she just, like I said, I just see an opportunist in her, and I think she's a very smart woman. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's not naive. She's always found a way to step above the curve and everything. Anything that she wants, she's gotten. I don't knock her hustle. I just don't have respect when people try to, you know, climb the ladder at the expense of their own people. I just found that so weak through that entire campaign trail when she knew what that president was up to. She knew what Donald Trump was. Like, literally everything that she's saying about him now, about him being racist and having mental issues and he ain't even together upstairs, all of us have been saying that for the longest, especially black people, especially black women. Been telling y'all that since at least 2015. At least from the moment he went and came down that escalator and paid them people to stand in the crowd to pretend that he was his audience, they were his audience, back when he had a .06 approval, or not approval rating, but support rate amongst the other 16 candidates. Okay, that was your sign right then that he wasn't about to be about anything. And you've watched this man literally do all of these crazy things every single day for the last 2.5 years. And now all of a sudden you want to act like, oh, wait, I discovered he was racist. You knew he was racist then. You knew he was racist when he was on The Apprentice. You knew he was racist when he took out that ad about the Central Park 5 and saying how the kids should get a death penalty. Mind you, the kids didn't do nothing. He just heard some stuff through the grapevine. It was like, well, they need to dive. And like, you knew since then he had a problem. And now all of a sudden, you know, now you want to push this book out and put everything. I'm like, yeah, okay, so now you get to capitalize off of saying everything that the rest of us have been saying for the longest, I guess. So some people are like, no, she's back with us now. She's cool. Whatever. I'm just going to say this. When the cookouts begin again, because I told y'all cookouts are on probation until further notice. We got too much going on in the world to be having cookouts. She's not invited, okay? She's not. Sorry, y'all don't even bring her a plate. You know, let her go and sit and write her book and mind her business, but she can't come to the cookout because we don't know whether she's gonna stay on the ship or jump. We don't know where she's at. Kind of like Don Lemon. Y'all been giving Don Lemon a lot of props because all of a sudden he done came to his senses, and I'm like, that's cool, but no, sorry. For like 5 years, you spewed all that nonsense on CNN, and you said some of the most anti-black stuff I could witness, and you did this at the time of Mike Brown. You did this at the time of Freddie Gray. You did this at the time of Trayvon Martin. So I don't have respect for you either. I don't care how. I don't know if what you got called the N-word at a boardroom meeting and you realized you were black again. I'm sorry, y'all don't get to just come back to the cookout. No, y'all can have your own cookout down the street. You can come to the Easter church service and sit on the side, but you can't show up to all the functions. You can't even come to the high school graduation because you're not going to get in the picture and act like you influenced the kid to graduate. No, stay out. And really, I say that because when people like an Omarosa or a Don Lemon are public figures and they have a platform, when they spew out that nonsense, even if they come back to their senses and start refuting what they've said in the past, They've already put it out there. Somebody received that message and lived with it. So that might have been the difference between some bootleg landlord who decided whether or not they're going to let a black family move into their building. That made the difference between whether or not an employer was going to hire somebody based on their first name alone. That determined whether or not those racist people in that little office doing the gerrymandering, how they're going to draw the borders. Sometimes those messages get to those people. And when they see black people being an agent of white supremacy or a mouthpiece for white supremacy, they use those people as justification for why they can do the nonsense. That's why Donald Trump can do what he does, because he has people like Kanye West and Candace Owens backing him. So just because you come back to your senses, no, you can't come to the cookout. Sorry. And like I said, the cookout's on pause anyway. And by the way, don't ask if Michael Rappaport can take her place. No, the waiting list is full. I already told y'all. If anybody gets to come to the cookout, it would have been Selena Quintanillas. And she ain't even alive no more, so the list is full. Okay? I told y'all, I rock with Selena. I can't speak no Spanish, but I'm fluent in Selena. Because that dang, what was that song? Tecnocumbia? La Tecnocumbia que te da. What? La Tecnocumbia que te da. I can't ever do it. I can't roll my R's good enough. But that's the jam. That, and what was it? La Carcacha and Baila esta Cumbia and No Me Queda Más and El Chico del Apartamento 512. And like, Selena has some jams. I rock with Selena. But no, she ain't here no more. So the waiting list is full. Ain't nobody else getting on it. Nobody else is coming to the cookout. That's it. Okay? Anyway, moving on. I don't know if you guys saw, it was on BET. They had a quick documentary. It's called Killer Curves. It was about pretty much people going and getting the butt injections and trying to, just pretty much enhance what they already have or maybe not have. I would say watch it. It was an interesting watch. It's kind of sad that, so many people are really in a position where they don't feel that they are good enough, that they have to go and do things. Because what I noticed was there were so many people who went and they were getting these butt injections and implants, but they weren't even getting it at professional places. They went and got it in somebody's basement. They got these people putting cement in their butt and Fix-A-Flat and cooking oil. I'm like, you have to really be sick in the mind to be comfortable with somebody injecting cooking oil into your butt. How? Why? And I understand there's a conversation about the element of black beauty and the fact that pretty much for the longest black women have been ridiculed for literally any and everything, and now that their body parts are in or trendy at the moment, now you have people who may not fit that part and they want to have that experience, and they're willing to do any and everything because for all of their life they've been told they weren't beautiful, and now they feel that whatever that item is that they can enhance will make them feel validated, when really in reality it's going to make them objectified. It's a lot. It's a deeper conversation. I wish that documentary could have been a little bit longer, but it was very interesting. So it's an interesting watch. I suggest watching it if you get a chance. It was it was really sad too, because there were some people who died. Kay Michelle was on there just talking about her experience. And the thing I will say about this, I'm not a fan of plastic surgery, but if you're gonna go and do anything to alter your appearance, whether that be a nose job, breast implants, whatever you do. And I feel bad because it feels like I'm almost only addressing this to women, but there are men who get plastic surgery, but there's not a lot of options for men to get things. But if you're gonna go and do that, at least make sure you're going to a doctor that knows what they're doing so they don't mess you up. And because I look at something like the whole butt implants and the hips and all that stuff, like that's some new stuff. That's the last 15 years stuff. I don't even think we've been on the planet long enough to see the long-term effects of when you hit 70, 80 years old and how that mess is going to look and how gravity's going to kick in and what that does to, your bloodstream and the stuff that leaks into your system. I just think that's tough. I wish we as a society weren't so pressed about what other people think about us. You know what I mean? But I think people have various reasons why they go and do different things. I'm not 100% against people going to change something if they don't like it. I mean, I just know it's not for me. And it's not my place to judge anybody. But if you're going to do that, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Because there was some crazy... You shouldn't be in nobody's basement letting anybody do anything to you. You know what I mean? But, it's a lot going on. But, I mean, when that's pretty much what's put out there and that's the standard. Because now, the ideal body type is now the shape of a freaking ant. Remember that movie Bug's Life? That's how a lot of people walking around looking. When I was in New Orleans at Essence, I saw one girl who had one of them fake butts, and I felt bad for her because she looked uncomfortable. Like, it looked like her butt was too heavy. She couldn't walk, right? And then she had the nerve to, have some heels on. Like, she looked in so much pain walking. I'm like, But it don't matter because there was still some folks, hey, girl, hey, skew. I'm like, woo, okay. I hope she get everything she wants for Christmas. But, I'm not going to lie, though. Hell, if they had a surgery to make me about a foot taller, I might go and get it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, what else is... Oh, this is going to be like a 30-second thing because this video is getting long. And then I saw that your president, he's decided to create a Space Force, another branch of the military. And I'm kind of like, Space Force? I mean, what kind of Power Ranger mess? Who y'all going up there to fight? Y'all fighting shooting stars and stuff now? I don't get it. And they need at least $8 billion to do it. I'm like, here we go again. Y'all don't have money to, endorse or enhance the public schooling system because y'all want to make budget cuts. But y'all got $8 billion to make a space force. Who we fighting in space? I'm confused. Are the aliens coming? Let me know. Hell, they might need to take some of y'all off and go on off to Mars. Do something. But I don't get it. It sounds stupid to me. Like, y'all have a president that just makes these random irrational decisions, and Mike Pence was up there making a speech all about, what did he say? Protecting something. I'm like, I don't have time for y'all. This is about as bad as Reagan when he did the whole space. Remember the Star Wars idea and all that money he wasted with that? Like, come on, use the money for things that make sense. You got people in this country hungry, and you want to do some space stuff. Okay, you got healthcare is a hot mess at the moment because y'all done stripped away everything that was there. Like, spend the money on something that can actually get some stuff done. I can't. So if 6% of the budget was already only going to education, I can imagine because education is gonna be the first thing they chip to fund this space force. Space force. Okay, I can't. I'm kind of Men in Black mess. Anyway, last thing, I saw somebody had posted about the hot water challenge, and I saw the story about this kid who got all these like 2nd and 3rd degree burns because somebody threw some hot water on him. Pretty much the challenge is you either sip some boiling water through a straw or you let somebody throw some boiling water on you. People, I know everybody wants to be famous. I know everybody wants to go viral, but it should not come at the expense of your own safety. Let's use common sense, people. Now, this is no disrespect to the boy that it happened to because I don't think he knew it was coming. It was like some unsuspecting crap. But you got to think, like, if you're going to go viral for something, go viral for something of substance. Go viral for something that will help you in your career later down the line. You getting 2nd and 3rd degree burns makes no sense. It's like the dude that got hit by the car doing the In My Feelings challenge. Plus, y'all got a new challenge every day. Bypass the ones that are going to get you hurt and wait for the next one to come. You know what I mean? Like, there's a new challenge every day. Okay? Read a book challenge. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on everything. This video was a little bit long, but my bad. It is what it is. I'm out. Subscribe.